Good morning, YouTube. My goal today is to do a 10-minute challenge on working with text. I've had some real issues in the past where I put text on a surface and go to try and emboss it, and it just doesn't work. So today I'm going to talk about two problems I've encountered with text and their workaround. One is overlapping text regions, and the other is where we have gaps or incomplete portions of a TTL font. This is going to be kind of more of an instructional one. Have fun with it, but this has been addressing a problem I've had for years. So I want to create a bookmark today, and that's going to be my 10-minute challenge. So for creating a bookmark, one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a basic box. I'm going to make it really super thin. I'm going to go about 100 millimeters in length, 50 millimeters wide, so it fits inside of the book, 0 degrees, and 0.5 on my thickness. This thing will print really, really thin. Now, normally when I would do text on a surface, all I would do is I would go into the sketching tab, I would grab text, and I would say, okay, here's my text. So let's do some nice, easy text. So in this case, each of the letters is separated. They're nice, uniform, they have easy, clear shape. And then I would scroll around, I would lock onto this surface and probably change my view. Come in here, maybe change the center point, change the fonts later, whatever, and just kind of snap it into the object. There it is, hello. And the next step I would do for myself is I would go into home and I would probably do some sort of normal projection or a subtraction. And I'm going to do a normal subtraction. That's frequently what I would do. And it'll ask me to select a curved surface, and I go through and I select each of the lines involved in my object. Cool, no problem. It's a check mark to say, hey, this is what it is. And now there's a little red arrow popping up here. And that's asking me which portion am I going to remove. Am I going to remove the interior of this letter or the exterior? I'm going to remove the interior because I just want to go right through it. And there's usually a pop-up somewhere asking how deep you want to go, but I didn't see it today. So I'll finish it. And now I have my text. Now as a bookmark, everything in here, when I 3D print this, is going to fall out because it's not connected to anything. It'll also probably destroy my print because it'll drag around, but those are other issues. Same with the O. Now what I want to do is come along and draw the same box. And what I want to do is put in some different text. And I'm going to have problems with that text. So the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a script font. I have lots of fonts here, and my students, honestly, they just love to try and get a nicer looking, more interesting script. The problem is these overlaps. When I go and try and do a projection directly onto the surface, I won't be able to select these letters. All right, so let's make this a little bit larger, just so it's easier to see. And we'll toss that onto the surface. All right. So I'm going to repeat the steps I did before. So we're going to go Home tab, we're going to go negative, we're going to go normal, and grab the T and the E. All right. And so far, this looks a little bit kind of weird in what it's selecting, but not so bad. Okay, so I right-click, depth of 3 millimeters, and I have to choose inside or outside. So I'm going to choose inside again. And the program just doesn't work. And we've been through this many, many times. It turns out that the problem actually is the overlapping text regions. So just to kind of show you one more thing, normal. If I just choose the T by itself, and I'm going to choose to take out the inside, no problem. If I finish that, I'm going to do the X, And I just need to make sure it's a continuous loop, no problem. All right, take out the inside. But I can't now select the E or the T. That's really annoying. So there is a solution to this. It's so simple. It's really actually quite frustrating. I'm just going to undo a bunch of stuff. There is a feature over here that says make coincident planes. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the text on a plane just in front of our surface that we want to use. So, coincident plane. And we'll just zoom out here. It has a kind of weird thing. It's going to create a box around my surface. No problem. That's expected. And then I'm going to drag that plane out. It can be any distance. It doesn't matter what it is. All right. So now, and this can be kind of hard for selection, but I'm going to put that text on there. So sketching, text. And we're going to put the word text again in Vladimir script. Vladimir script. And okay. I want to change the size of that. It's too small. That's a bit bigger. Also, while I'm at it, I want to change the placement. There we go. All right, so when I look at the surface there, there's my text. It's all happy, and in fact, actually, my text is off of the edge of the plane. That's not a problem. All right, we are going to use this command here called, I'm waiting for the pop-up. It came up a moment ago, but it says project to planes. I have to throw in a view on that. All right, so click on a planar face or reference plane onto which the edges or elements will be projected. So I'm going to go grab that surface. Project with offset, project internal face loops. And just OK. Boom. Click on the model edge, curve, or sketch to import. So we're going to grab all of the stuff here for this text. And this particular font has lots of pieces in it that you might need to select. And that's OK. Let's see if I've forgotten anything here. It looks like I've forgotten this piece. Okay, let's bring it down. This one here, this one again, and it looks like there's a little tiny piece right here, and maybe one over here. All right, so that text looks like it's complete. Awesome. I'm going to hide the sketch and right click, exit out, and now I have a projection but onto the surface. This projection is different than the text I had before because I can actually come along in the 2D program. I can select it and actually edit the curves. Let's try that again. So I can take things away, and I can also add in lines. Now, I'm not advocating that my text should look like that, but it's actually kind of cool. Let's have some fun with this for a second. So I've created a very odd font. I have overlapping regions in my text, which is in itself bad. You want a continuous loop. All right, so normal. Grab a piece of text. Oh, this is going to fail for exactly the same reason as before. Closed loop. So what I want to do is use that same trim feature and remove the overlapping or offending regions. And that's something that the projection to the plane allowed me to do. All right, so I had those 3 overlapping regions, and I'm now going to go and normal, cut, normal to surface. I'm going to grab all of my loop, and notice it picked it up as one continuous piece. So happy. Grab the second one, check. The selected curves, select curves that lie on the face of the part. Okay, well, we can fix that. That's easy. Let's just grab a line here, and do a cut. And now I have this scripted text that just fine.